coming to you straight from the garden on this sunny day in Central Texas. We just recently had our strongest cold front of the fall roll through, and I documented some of my thoughts and my processes, how I organize around covering up my beds with row cover, as well as the high tunnel greenhouse that I put up each year to protect all my citrus plants. Welcome to New Garden Road, where I share my love of gardening with you in a way that I hope will inform, inspire, and elevate you. Subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. Stay up to date on all the garden action coming at you. There it is, man at work in the garden. It's going down, building some more hoop houses, and then I'm gonna break out the row cover and clip that to my PVC. I like to use the rebar in the ground and then loop the PVC from one rebar to the next. But whatever you end up with, just make sure if you're using row cover or sheets or whatnot, make sure that's not laying directly on your plants. That won't be a good outcome. You don't want the sheet or the row cover touching your plants. They'll get burned that way. You want to create a dome somehow, keep them up off the plants, and that'll protect them. Also, I want you to keep in mind what you're trying to do is to capture and trap the ground heat. We've had some warm days, the soil is really warm. You want to preserve that, hold that in. That's what's going to insulate your plants. When you put that sheet or row cover over them, ideally, that's what you're doing. You're trapping the heat. You're keeping it in there so they stay warm overnight. Some crops like these broccoli here can make it through the upper 20s no problem. However, in my practice, I do like to cover them just so that I can keep them growing vigorously. The cold weather will kind of slow them down, make them a little bit more dormant. If you keep them warm, they're gonna keep growing. Yeah, the kale does get sweeter in cold temperatures. It can survive the upper 20s. Like I said, protect it the first couple times if you can. That'll help them acclimate to cold weather. Also, if you get a hard freeze below 28 degrees for several hours, I would cover them up. I mean, that's your dinner. Come on, Central Texas, can you believe this? About to be 28 degrees and this is happening. Yeah, let's just keep blooming. If you want to make sure your plants are adequately watered before a freeze, if they are dry, that will not serve them well. They're more likely to get some damage or die altogether. So make sure they get a good deep soaking before a freeze, and hit them with some liquid seaweed if you can. That can increase their cold tolerance. Hope for the best. This broccoli right here I planted about a week ago. Definitely going to cover this up. And it needs some mulch. Mulch is essential. That can help hold in the ground heat. You want to do that. So I'm gonna get these guys mulched. I got some squash here. It made it through that first frost, October 31st. There's a little baby squash. This is the Tatume. Make sure you harvest those veggies like this before the cold front. No guarantees. Also, it's a real good idea to take off your fixtures, your timers, your nozzles. They got some water in there and they freeze. They can crack pretty easily. So just a little tip for you, take those in. Here's my system. I got some trash cans that I keep my row cover in, buckets with the clips, rebar. Dolly is just irreplaceable in the garden. This is my high tunnel greenhouse that I put up every winter. So what I do essentially is I'll put row cover over this guy, 2 layers on the top, on the sides, clip it up real good, and when I get a hard freeze, I'll put in some incandescent rope lights that will provide supplemental heat. Just a few cold weather tips for you. I got to get to work. Only got a few hours before the wind starts blowing. Do everything you can to prepare, folks. I hope you make it through and stay cozy. Just starting to sprinkle. There it is. Like I said, not the prettiest thing, but it has gotten me through at least 5 winters with my citrus trees, my tropical hibiscus, 2 layers of row cover, lots of clips. Got all these beds covered up. It's a lot of work, but growing a lot of food. And chances are we will have some really good weather this winter. That's a wrap, and I'm really worn out. That was a lot of work. I started about 8:30 and I don't even know what time it is. It's probably like 1:30. But yeah, got a lot done. Hopefully everything holds. It's gonna be a wind advisory. Gotta batten down the hatches. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got some tips. If you like what you see and you want to see more of it, please subscribe to my page. Leave me a question or a comment below, and as always, keep it organic.